the last turn we have finished our second life process, that is respiration, and today we are going to start next life process, that is transportation. First of all, we will discuss the meaning of transportation. Uh, it is the movement of materials from one part to another, usually from the region of their availability to the region of their use, then storage or elimination. So, as we see, the body of every organism, whether it is a plant or animal, it is made up of cells, and the lower organisms such as bacteria, protozoans, yeast, etc. may be unicellular, but almost all the higher organisms are usually multicellular. And larger organisms have millions and millions of cells in their bodies, and they lie apart from each other. For example, if we see the cells lying in young root of a tree lie far off from the cells lying at the stem tip. So, all the cells of the body need oxygen, water, minerals and organic food for their survival and maintenance. They need certain other substances to carry out their vital activities. Some of these substances are picked up from the environment by specific cells. For example, plants absorb water from their root hairs, then synthesize organic food in their leaves, in green cells, etc. Similarly, in case of animals, they pick up oxygen from some specific respiratory organs such as the gills, lungs, etc., or intake food and digest it in an alimentary canal. The substances picked up by respiratory organs or food absorbed by alimentary canal, etc., must be supplied to all the living cells of the body by some mechanism of transportation from the place of their abundance to the places of their scarcity. Such coordinated processes carrying out proper distribution of materials among the cells are considered as transportation. So, we see transportation mean the substances that are synthesized at one place, they are absorbed at other place, and then they are carried to all of the body parts, and from there after the use in their body in the body, they are eliminated out. So, transportation mean the process in which the substances synthesized or absorbed in one part of the organism is carried to other parts of the body. Now, transportation in human beings. Human beings consists of the circulatory system or the system for transportation. There are two methods or two ways by which this system take place in human beings. These are, first is blood vascular system and other is vascular system and other is lymphatic system. So, human beings have two of the systems. These are blood vascular system and lymphatic system. Now, blood vascular system. Blood vascular system, it is comprises of some of the parts. These are the blood. This system comprises of three of the substances. These are the blood, then blood vessels and heart. Third is heart. Now first of all we will talk about the blood. As we know, blood is a connective tissue. We have studied in class 9th about the connective tissue. This blood, this is the connective tissue, and this circulates in the human body. Beside that, it is made up of two of the main components. These are the plasma and blood corpuscles. So, two main components of blood are there. These are the plasma and blood corpuscles. Plasma, it is a pale yellow transparent fluid mixture of fluid matrix of the blood. It contains about 92% of water and 8% of other solutes like proteins, etc. Then it transports food, CO2 and nitrogenous waste, enzymes in dissolved form. When plasma is the liquid part, and about 92% of its part is made up of water. Then blood corpuscles. Blood corpuscles constitute 45 to percent of the blood. These are of three types. These are RBCs, then WBCs and platelets. RBC, or which are also called as erythrocytes. These are very small in size, and they contain the red colored protein called hemoglobin. Red colored pigment that is present in these RBCs is hemoglobin. This hemoglobin absorbs oxygen and transport it to the cells all over the body. In the body, the oxygen travel by the RBCs or hemoglobin part of the RBCs. Then other part, that is WBCs. WBCs, which are also called as leukocytes, they are pale white or colorless corpuscles. Their function is to destroy bacteria or etc. Or foreign particles by engulfing, and this WBC is responsible for immunity. Beside that, WBC also help in formation of antibodies. WBC help to fight with the foreign particles or diseases. After that, the third part that is there in blood, that is platelets. Platelets, these are smaller than red blood cells. They are found floating in the blood. They play a major role in blood clotting. Our blood clot due to these platelets. Because these platelets release a chemical called thromboplastin, which initiates the process of clotting of blood. Now, this blood vascular system, it comprises of blood. This blood have some of the important functions in our body. These functions are, first function is to transport of nutrients like sugars, amino acids, minerals and vitamins are picked up by the blood from intestine and transported to different parts of the body for storage and assimilation. Blood help to store the these substances like sugars, amino acids, minerals, vitamins, etc. Then other function or second function of the blood, that is transport of oxygen. It transport oxygen from the respiratory surface. Blood transport the oxygen from the respiratory surface, and then it transport it to the tissues for utilization in respiration. After that, next function of blood, that is the transport of CO2 and waste products. CO2 formed during respiration is taken by blood in to the respiratory surface for elimination. Blood pick up it and it through the blood vessels it reach the to the alveoli where it is given out for elimination. It also carries nitrogenous waste from various parts of the body to the kidneys for separation and elimination. Other function of blood is to carry the nitrogenous wastes from various parts of the body to the kidney for separation and elimination. Via kidney, these nitrogenous wastes, which are called as urine, they are also separated via blood when blood reach the near the kidney. Next is transport of body secretion. Chemical secretion like hormones etc. also transported by blood from the site of their secretion to the target organ. It is the similar way while we have a headache and we take the medicine, then the medicine or the chemical that we have taken reach to the particular part at the near the head, and it initiate the cells or tissues or of that place, and we feel comfort due to these transport of that medicine or hormone to the particular place or target organ. Then regulation of body temperature. Blood also plays an important role for regulation or control of body temperature by evenly distributing the heat produced in one part of the body to different parts. Then our body temperature remain constant or stable due to this blood flow. Then defense against infections. WBCs, as we have discussed earlier also, white blood corpuscles or leukocytes that are phagocytic in nature. They protect the body against any germ or toxin. They destroy the that viruses, bacteria, etc., and save us from diseases. Then water balance. This blood that flows inside the body also play an important role for water balance in the body. It maintains water balance to a constant level by bringing about constant exchange of water between circulating blood and tissue fluid. So these are the functions of blood. Now next part of this circulatory or the transportation system of blood vascular system is blood vessels. The blood vessels, these are a system of channels through which the blood flows. There are three types of blood vessels, and these are the arteries and veins and capillaries. So these are the three types of blood vessels. Arteries, the blood vessels that carry blood from heart to the various parts of the body are arteries. Through arteries, blood from the heart is carried to the other different organs of the body. An artery has thick and elastic muscular wall. Most of the arteries are deep seated except a few ones where the pulse can be felt. Only pulmonary artery transport deoxygenated blood from heart to lungs, and all other arteries carry oxygenated blood to body. Then veins, the blood vessels that carry blood from the body parts to the heart are veins. Veins have thin walls. They are provided with semilunar valves which prevent the backflow of blood. These valves are formed from the folds of inner walls of veins. Veins are generally superficial, we can see them easily. Forward pressure of the blood forces the valve to open and the blood flows towards the heart. However, backflow of blood causes the valve to close. All veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein which carry oxygenated blood from lungs to heart. Mean pulmonary artery carry deoxygenated blood. Mean in case of arteries, only all arteries carry oxygenated blood, but pulmonary artery carry deoxygenated blood. And in case of veins, all veins carry deoxygenated blood, but pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood from lungs to heart. Now capillaries. These are the microscopic vessels that carry blood from arterioles to veins, to small veins or venules. Mean the capillaries are the small vessels that are in between the arteries and veins. They are very narrow blood vessels having a single layer wall. This single layer wall form network inside body organs. These are found abundantly in those tissues or organs where metabolism is very fast. And these capillaries exchange oxygen, digested food, carbon dioxide and other waste products between the blood and the surrounding cells. Movement of blood in the capillaries is very slow, so as to provide time for exchange of material. Beside that, as we know, the capillaries join up to form the veins which carry blood back to the heart. This is all for today. Tomorrow we will firstly discuss about the heart and its functioning and how the structure of it. So that's all for today.